Okay, so moving on to the next category, which was fashion, my goal was to do whatever I wanted, which I accomplished beautifully. However, I will say that, like, I had really early classes throughout the entire year, so there came points where I didn't even want to dress up or look nice. I just threw on a t-shirt and some shorts and I went to class because I was just so tired. So, like, but yes, the days where I didn't care, I just didn't care. But the days where I cared, I looked great. And another goal that I had was to use up my Book of Shadows 4 by Urban Decay. It is the eyeshadow palette that Jamie gave me, which started my whole makeup craze. And I've had it since I graduated high school, so now it's like the 4th year that I've had it. And I'm proud to say that I did the majority of it. Like, you can see that I've eaten up through many of the shadows. Yeah, so I have eaten through Gravity. I think Gravity was the first shadow that I ate through. Gravity, Baked, Midnight Cowgirl, Midnight Rodeo, and I actually really, really do like these two shades. I realize, like, a lot of people don't like Urban Decay's Chunky Glitter, but I really like it, and honestly, like, if I was not on a no makeup thing, I would honestly repurchase these two colors because, like, they're just easy. Like, especially Midnight Rodeo, I would just, like, put it on the lid and I looked great. But I do like the Chunky Glitter. I think Sin was the first shadow that I used up. Sin's, like, the only shadow I've ever repurchased because I really, really like that shade, and I think it looks great on everything, on everyone. Skimp, I was able to eat that up. And also Hijack and Crystal, like, you could probably see it, but there's, like, just a little bit on the corner. So yeah, pretty much I've eaten through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you, like, 6, but, like, 8 if you count Hijack and Crystal. I did use Hijack today. Honestly, like, over time, this has lost some of its pigmentation because it is old. Blue Bus, even though there's, like, a huge hole in it, I do not like this shade. I don't know how to make it work, honestly. Bender and Lost and Zephyr, I've made pretty big holes on, but, like, Bust, small hole. But Missionary I'm using a lot more now, but Gunmetal and Cobra, which is funny, because you would think that I would use a black such as Cobra, but I just haven't really, because I like bright, happy shades. But anyways, like, I have eaten through a lot of this palette, and I'm pretty proud of myself. However, I really look forward to the day where I can say that I have eaten up through an entire eyeshadow palette. But anyways, kind of an interesting story that I really did want to touch on fashion-wise was, one of my clinical instructors, bless her heart, I love her to death. However, she said, like, during my end of the year review, she said, like, hey, you know, I'm saying this because I love you and I care about you, but because you know, in clinical I have to wear my scrubs, but when I'm in class, I just wear whatever I want the majority of the time, and so I would, like, put on, like, my faux septum ring. Which I will say, like, the reason why I don't have a real septum ring or any other piercing is because A, like, I have weird commitment issues, and B, like, I promised my mother and my grandma that I would never get a piercing or a tattoo, and I do want to uphold that, but, like, with my faux septum, it's like, everyone wins, but that's not the point. Yeah, like, this professor, love her to death, she said, like, you know, you're such a wonderful person, but I say this out of all love, and I don't want you to get mad, but, just the way that you look sometimes, I feel like you're missing opportunities with guys who would really, really like you and who really love the Lord because of the way you look. Which I understand, and I knew that this day would come, and I'm really glad that she cares about me, and I respect her opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm going to continue to look and dress the way that I want to. And I'm really happy that she cares about me. I just disagree, like, you know, I just kind of disagreed with that because, like, when it comes to the guy that I care about and whose face I really, really like, he has seen me through, like, all my, like, when we first met, I had bright pink hair. he has seen me in like every one of my crazy outfits. He's seen me like no makeup looking normal. He's seen me in my punk stuff, in my kawaii stuff, in my goth stuff. He's seen like pretty, yeah, like, cause he and I are really good, like started off as really good friends, and we're really good friends now, and he's seen like a lot of weird and normal outfits that I've worn, and he still loves and cares about me the same. Again, like, I mentioned it to him, and he said like, well, I just, look at the person. So, she also kind of mentioned, like, it might be hard for him to, like, introduce you to his family, and she kind of mentioned, too, like, I'm a mom, and, I might be a little scared if my son brought home a girl that dressed weird. She didn't say those words exactly, but that's the message she was trying to convey. And, his parents have seen me in weird outfits as well. Like, they know a lot about me. They've seen me look really nice, and they've seen me look really crazy. And from what I know, they still really like me. It's just, like, it's hard because, even though, yeah, okay, yes, I know that I project a bitchy attitude, but I am a nice person. I'm a good person. And it's just kind of frustrating how people judge me by the way that I look. I remember a while ago when I would make up conversations with myself, I would kind of say, like, just because someone looks acceptable does not mean that they are a nice person. And for me, the prime example would be, like, Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, Ted Bundy was a very charismatic man who, like, charmed his way out of being stopped by the police, and he was a mass murderer. Same thing with Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was like a very unassuming guy. He still killed a whole bunch of people and ate them. And then the BTK killer, he was an upstanding member of his society. He was a church-going person who, what's it called? And from what I remember, he was involved in his church, and look what he did. So I'm just saying that, like, just because someone looks acceptable does not mean that they are. I mean, there's a ton of people on Biola campus who, like, look normal and are trendy and fashionable, but they're complete assholes and bitches, like, stealing another man's guy, dumping him, and then marrying someone else. That's a bitchy move. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. But, like, yeah, like, but a lot of times when I'm in the punk rock community, when I'm at these shows and at these venues, these people, even though they have, like, huge gauges, even though they have, like, tons of tattoos and weird piercings and have, like, spikes everywhere and studs, like, they're really, really nice. I mean, whenever I go to a punk show, minus the one by Joyce Manor, because everyone was young and stupid, but, like, when I go to a lot of these punk shows, like, in the mosh pits, and maybe it's because I'm a woman, but, like, when it comes to mosh pits, everyone is very, courteous. And if you fall down, someone's gonna help you up. And like, if you accidentally punch someone, that person will stop and be like, hey, I'm sorry, are you okay? Like, there's been multiple times where I almost got punched or I was punched, and the person would, like, apologize to me. So, like, I just feel as if in general, we should judge people by their heart rather than what they look like. And I know that a lot of people are like, yeah, well, that's not how the world functions. The world functions by judging you on your appearance. And you know what? To sound super Christian, like, I'm not part of this world. I'm just kind of here until I go home to be with Jesus. Like, I don't want to live like that. I choose to look at people based on who they are rather than what they look like. So yes, long rant. So anyways, moving on to my other goal, which was academic and discipline. I wanted to not screw up academically or behaviorally, like the sriracha thing. Yeah, the sriracha thing that I need to make a video on probably after I graduate because I don't want to get in trouble even though the other person graduated. I accomplished this for the most part. I will say that academically, I still get really nervous. Like, okay, when I'm at the hospital working, when I'm with my nurse, I'm fine. But when my professor walks in, I don't even know why, but it's like shit hits the fan and I become a nervous wreck. So when I'm with my nurse, I'm okay. But like if my professor's in the room with me, I'm like, dear God, why? But anyways, I'm hoping that next semester this won't happen in the hospital because like I'm not gonna, like my professors aren't gonna be there at all and it's just gonna be me and a nurse the entire time. So I'm hoping that next semester is going to be happy. I mean, I will say, I'll admit that I had to go on a mini contract in my peds rotation that lasted probably like a few days because one day I just was performing terribly. Thankfully, but my professor was like, this isn't to punish you, this is more to like help you because I know that you're better than this. And like there was lots of tears that were had. I remember running to David and just crying because like I was so frustrated and sad over it, and then crying to Megan because I was frustrated and sad and I thought I was gonna get kicked out. Even my professor was like, you're not gonna get kicked out. This is just kind of a formal thing and I want to give you credit for doing better. Like I want to give you credit for bettering yourself. Which honestly to me, I really don't think that she should have put me on that contract, but thankfully I was able to prove myself and do a lot better, and like, you know, within like 2-3 days I was able to improve myself because I think like the one day that was like one day that I just did really terribly. So yeah, but anyways, just I did really well in my peds rotation in the end, and I bettered myself, so I guess that was the point. Okay, so I did have a mini breakdown because I was just so stressed out. Like, as soon as I said probably in my first video, like, my spring semester was the first time I was ever like, I'm not going to finish nursing school. I'm going to flunk out because it was just so hard and so taxing and so troubling. Like, especially critical care. Critical care made me almost want to quit nursing. I hated that rotation. I do not like being in an environment where people die. Because half the time I was in my critical care rotation, someone died on me. And I don't want to work in a facility. Like, I don't, like, you know, a lot of people are like, yeah, I loved critical care. But no, I didn't. I don't want to work in an environment where people die on a regular basis. And it's something that you just kind of acknowledge and you just kind of, you know, move on. I'm a very sensitive person. And I work better in maternal health, and I was very blessed to find my calling, and it is in postpartum. I really enjoy being able to say congratulations, take care of the babies, and take care of the moms right after they give birth. Like, that is my passion. So glad I found it. I almost, because like at the end of that rotation we had to sit down and like talk about it, and I almost cried when I was like, this is where I want to be, this is my passion. It was a bummer that I was only it was a bummer that I only did women's health for a month, but it was very beneficial, and I'm so glad and blessed that I now know where I want to be for the rest of my life. Or at least for like right after I graduate. But yeah, so yes, I'm gonna try, like, you know, with the next year coming up, I am gonna try my best as always, but there comes a point where it's like I'm just kind of beginning to like care a little less, only because like it's like the very end and I just want to graduate at this point. And yes, I need to right here I wrote that I still need to do a blog about the sriracha, and me and all my friends are not able to look at sriracha the same way again. Okay, so my other goal was to not drink while I was on contract. Fuck me. That's what I wrote. Let's just say that let's just say that I was unable to do that, and I almost died once, and that one moment really scared me so bad that I did a mini, like, you know, internal contract that I wasn't going to drink for 100 days straight, and yes, I was able to fulfill that. I didn't drink over my birthday, over spring break, and partially through the summer because I wanted to not drink for 100 days. And I fulfilled that, and I'm very proud of myself for that. I'm not going to get into detail. One day maybe I'll have a vlog about it, but I'll just wait. But yes, there's this one time that I almost died. And part of me feels like I said, I'm not going to drink, is more because, not for myself, but more because I wanted to impress someone. A guy that I like. He knows who he is. I talk about him too much. And it's like, okay, and yes, the classic, if I don't drink because if I say I'm not going to drink because contract tells me to, then I'm not going to want to drink. If I say I'm not going to drink and it's because I want another person to like me, then I'm not going to fulfill it. But when I said I'm not going to drink for me, that's when I actually fulfilled it. And even though it was 100 days, I'm still very, very proud of myself. And part of me isn't sure I like alcohol anymore. So, yay. I think, like, I just went on a weird drinking binge before that point because I just was like, yeah, I could drink now. And I just wanted to, like, prove, like, I can do what I want. But now it's like, no, now it's more of a, I'm an adult now. I need to be responsible and not be an idiot. And yeah, yes, so there is that. And the other goal that I wrote to myself was I won't get straight A's, but at least I'll work hard. I actually accomplished that. I got 1B, one B a semester, the rest were A's. I just remembered, again, because spring semester was so difficult for me, I was like super drained and super depressed, and I remember calling all three of my parents, so my mom, dad, my stepdad, saying like, I don't think I'm going to hold on to my scholarship anymore. I think I'm going to fail all my classes. And like I called them in the beginning of the semester, and all of them were like, calm down, you're going to be fine. And it turns out that I was fine and I didn't need to worry. So yeah, like I was super drained and I didn't think I would make my grades, but I did. And I'm very proud of myself because, again, like when things get rough, I succeed because of God. And again, it's just kind of a testament of like, I really don't need to worry because God has my back. So yes, thank you for watching this segment.